Welcome to another community update put on by Cumberland Unfiltered, coming to you from Cumberland Tavern Studio. I am Caleb, your host, and we have Mr. Brad. He's back.
Yep, back in action.
He's here. And tonight, or today, or whenever you're listening to this, our guest is the director. 34 years, you said?
Well, the program has been going on for 34
okay.
years. I've been the director for 28 years.
28-year director of Happy Baskets.
Right.
Tell us, John Johnson.
John Johnson, yeah.
Tell us, John. Give us a little bit of backstory about the Happy Baskets thing. Tell us
All right.
what is it?
The Happy Baskets was started in 1992 by Ann Brown when she was the director of the Cumberland Senior Center. And when there was a switch in the mayors after she was there for with Happy Baskets 6 years later, and then she was leaving and she was going to close down the program. And somebody I was working with said, "Oh, why don't we take it over?" And I went, "No. I don't wanna."
Too much work.
Yeah,
Work,
exactly.
yeah.
Too much
That's
work.
right.
And I said, "No." And she goes, "Well, I'll help you. We'll do it together." I went, "Okay, as long as you're going to help." And as it turned out, she helped a little bit at the beginning, and then she got married and had kids, and that was the end of it.
That was
I
it.
was going to just say, how
Life
long did
moved
she
on.
help? Oh, man. That's how it always is,
So
though,
life
right?
moved on, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was
You were sitting there holding the basket after that, then.
yeah.
Literally. We got a little visitor on screen. You can see the little white
yeah.
bum in the back. What's the dog's name? This is
Dakota.
Brad's new dog, Dakota. So if you see the dog on camera, that's why the dog didn't want to be around the cleaning lady, I think.
Exactly.
It's a great looking dog.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Petey from The Little Rascals.
Yeah, Little Rascals. It's the first thing I thought
He's
when I
got a
saw
little
it.
black eye.
Yeah, the black guy. Yep, exactly.
So, so you've been part of the Happy Baskets program for 24 years.
No, I've been the director for 28, and I've been involved in it for 32. I was a volunteer when Ann Brown was the director, and then I was on the board of her board of directors, and then when she left, then I took it over.
I think you told me that.
That's a lot of
I have a
numbers.
brain
No,
fart.
it's a lot
I'm
of
sorry.
numbers. I don't blame you.
So,
Nobody told me there's going to be math today.
Brad, we were talking. Him and I were talking before this segment. This guy's involved with everything.
Oh, okay, what else?
Like he's an author. He writes kids' books.
Yeah, that I know.
He was a reporter back in the day. You worked for advertising. You did a lot of advertising.
Did some advertising, some corporate work.
So now you're the director of Happy Baskets. So it seems like the last part or the last 20 years or so, you've been giving back a lot.
I think Happy Baskets does a great job of giving back, and it's Cumberland Happy Baskets, and the reason why it's called Happy is because Ann Brown came up with a name of helping assist particular people this year, and I kept saying, "But where's the T? Where's the T?" And then when I took it over, I decided that it was going to be incorporated because the funds at the end of the year would go into the town coffers.
Okay.
And then you'd have to try and get the money back out.
Ouch.
And there was one year that just didn't work. And I went, "That's not happening again."
No, that doesn't make sense.
So we incorporated it so that would not happen. So the funds only stay with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Once the funds go back into a government entity, it's like pulling teeth to get them back out of there.
Yeah,
They don't want to give up that money, do they?
Seems like, especially these days, yeah.
Yeah, there was one year where the money went in and we weren't getting it back, but I saw the mayor driving around in a new car, and I went, I said,
Would you call that the happy car?
Yeah.
Happy car?
Happy car, yeah.
So what is Happy Baskets?
Yeah, what's the process? How do you...
The process is we give to those in need in Cumberland, and only Cumberland. I made a mistake one year. I did an interview and I said, I don't care where the people are from. They can have food. They can get food from us. Hungry is hungry, and if they're from Tennessee, they can have a basket. And I threw that out there, and I got a call from a gentleman from Tennessee and saying, "I want a basket." And I went,
Oops.
I mean, yeah, whoops. I said, "Sure, drive up, and I'll give you one."
That's how it works.
Yeah, you want to ship it down there to him?
Yeah, we're not gonna UPS it to you. But the process is that at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of say September, we contact all the schools about doing food drives for us.
Yeah.
And they're the backbone, really, the food drives. And then we provide all the schools with say 25 to 75 sheets which have coupons on them, because the schools and the churches, they all know who's in need.
Yeah.
They don't need to go through any of the paperwork.
Right.
And they give them out. And then those people send that in, and we get a coupon back that has their names, their address, their phone numbers. And I'll never question anything that comes from a school. And then the other way people sign up is that they have to come through me. And they have to sit down with me, and they need to show that they live in Cumberland. That's the first thing. And then they have to show they're in need. So they have to show me that they're receiving some type of assistance, whether that is, SNAP or heating or rent or something like that. And then there are cases where somebody's just going through a bad time, and they're not on any of these things, but they're going through a bad time and they need assistance. And certainly the door is wide open for them.
So it's a case by case there on those situations.
So it's set up to help out. It was set up to help out somebody for a year or two or three.
So is it for Thanksgiving specifically? Like when, or is this something you do all the time? Like does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's for Thanksgiving. And then we have the food program again for Christmas.
Okay.
Plus toys for the children for Christmas. And then I do Adopt a Family for those two holidays plus Easter. And people will say, well, why don't you do a happy basket for Easter? And I go, there's no money for this.
Well, there's a lot of baskets already in Easter, right?
Yeah, Easter baskets.
A lot of baskets already.
And the volunteers be eating all the chocolate turkeys or chocolate bunnies anyways.
Yeah. I know the schools are involved because because my kids go to schools, right? The Cumberland schools. And I'm on all
drop-off locations.
I was just going to say, I'm on all of the community, like all the school community Facebook pages and groups. And I think Cumberland High School actually did a video. They did a video where they took like 3 of the kids and they were like going around the school and saying what Happy Baskets is. And
that's the student government. And they've gotten much more involved this year.
Seems like it.
Over the last few years, since Dan Curran has been there.
Yep.
They would park a truck at Seabra and ask for money or food, and it's a truck that Brad Dean allows them to use, and they pretty much fill the truck up.
Is that the one with your face on the side of it?
It is now, yeah.
Are you ever going to take that off?
I'm going to take that off. I haven't gotten around to it yet.
No, I like it.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It is fun driving around town.
Some people wave, but they don't use all their fingers.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that.
Well,
I couldn't believe it because I saw the truck last year when it was in Seabra. That thing was packed right to the end.
Was it?
Yeah. They do. The kids do a great job. So this year, they're more involved in the whole process, and they're doing food drives all over town leading up to Seabra, and plus they did a program where they were asking for funds, and I think they raised over $1,000.
Really? Wow.
Which is huge.
That's big.
You need that youthful enthusiasm because you got somebody like me.
What do people do? Like, how do they do? You have baskets that are out there, like you have not baskets, but you have like bins that collect food. People donate food. Do you have specific types of food that you're looking for, or that you ask for?
How do you decide who gets what? Do you break it down by like food group or something like that, or is it?
Everybody gets the same.
Okay.
And there's a reason. Every box is. I buy the boxes all the same size. Everybody gets the same box of food, because one of the first things they do is they go, well, "What do you got there? I don't think I have that," and and so on and so forth. And
So
This
is
guy
that,
gets something else. Yeah.
so do you ask for specific items then?
sort of, it's you want your standard corn, green beans, peas.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, and that's how it started at the beginning. The first few Happy Baskets, it was a Thanksgiving dinner. And then as I was able to raise more funds, I don't want the money. So we spend the money. Now we're going to get rice. And we got a little bit more money. And now we're going to get some oatmeal. And we can afford some cereal this year. And pretty soon the boxes have 32 different items in it.
Wow.
I mean, it's a great look. You've seen the boxes.
Yeah,
right?
seen 'em.
They're packed right to the top.
Packed.
And then there's the fresh vegetables, the potatoes, the squash, the carrots, and the bread. And then if I can afford it, then you throw in some apples and maybe some oranges.
So is that like, how do you like to collect donations for it? Do you like people to donate food, or do you like people to donate money, or does it matter?
It really doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter at this point, but as it gets closer to Christmas, money is my preferred thing, because I got bills to pay.
Right. Well, you
right,
also there's also a way to QA or to know what you're putting in the box. The reason I'm asking, right? Because what if somebody gave you a case of cranberries one year and that was it? Like, not every box is going to get cranberries, right?
Everybody's going to get cranberries.
So you're going to go out and make sure. So if there's one item of something, you're going to go out and get the rest of it to fill the box.
Right.
Okay,
We work closely with Dave's Marketplace,
I see.
and they've been great with us.
Oh.
And when actually I was saying that tomorrow I got to place the order, but I'm kind of placing it blind because I don't really know what we have yet.
Hmm.
So, I mean, some of the things I've ordered in the past are, well, every box would get, stuffing, gravy, Jiffy corn muffin mix, jelly, peanut butter, pasta sauce, baked beans, canned fruit, cereal, cranberry sauce,
I'm hungry.
yeah, and on and
good
on
stuff.
and on. Whatever I can afford to buy, I do. But this year, I'm being thrown for a loop, because right now we've got more than double the amount of coupons we usually have out for Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And that means you're looking at, probably double for Christmas. And now I'm looking at this list going, I can't afford this.
Why double this year than normal?
I think
what
it has
makes
a lot to do with the SNAP situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap.
People are rightly so, they're concerned that they're
Sure.
not going to have a Thanksgiving dinner.
Makes sense.
So
So how many coupons do you put out?
right now there's 425 out.
Wow.
That's, and as I've said, that I don't know how to manage that, even to not just buying the food or getting the food, but handing the baskets out.
So in a cigarette, that's 400. That's a lot of boxes.
So what do you do? Have you figured it out yet?
No. If you guys have an answer,
Yeah, mother.
jot it down and slide it over to me.
So do you look for volunteers, like people to help you?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have a set number of people that help you every year, and then you just take whoever?
We have had a core group that helps every year.
Okay.
But last year, and I'll leave that to them as to why a number of them aren't coming back.
Okay.
So, and the high school kids who are going to help put the baskets of food together aren't going to be handing the baskets of food out. So I got to put together a team.
Oh.
And I have people that'll call up and say, "Oh, I want to do that." And I'll go, "It's rain or shine."
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, right.
we-
It's snowing out. You're there.
yeah, we got to do this on this day, because if we don't, then
Now, do you deliver to people's house, or do people have to come to you?
they come to us on a specific time. It's like 9 to 3 or 9 to 4, and they get in a line in their cars and they drive up to, say, where I'm standing, and they hand me
The coupon.
the coupon, and then I check and make sure that their name is on the list, and then we put in, they don't get out of the car, we just say back seat, front seat, trunk, where do you want it? And we can, once we get going, we can do one a minute.
Gotcha.
Just stay in the car and
Yeah.
keep the
You
car
just load it.
going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes they would drive up and they shut the car off, and then it's like, and everything comes to a
There's
screeching
2
halt.
minutes. There's
People
3
start
minutes.
getting out. Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go.
Walking around. looking
People
for
start
food.
beeping, and
And
I can
people,
see that. So if you have 400 coupons out there, then so if somebody reached out to you and said, "Hey, can I get a coupon?" You just keep adding to the list.
I do.
Up to a certain date, I'm assuming.
Well, the cutoff date is this Friday. However,
Yeah.
it's somebody
Tough
that's
to say no. Yeah.
somebody that I've been doing this with for a while. He said, "You got to stop it. You got to say no. I go, can you look at somebody in the eyes that is in need
Yeah.
and say no to them when I don't have to say no?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No, it's-
because the number's so high, I figure, all right, the number's high. We'll figure it out. I haven't figured it out yet, but we'll figure it out because, as the Grinch said, Christmas comes anyways, whether you're ready or not.
Yeah,
So we
yep.
might as well be ready.
Every
Might as well
year.
be ready. 100%.
Every year, right?
Yeah.
It
That's
sounds like a
crazy.
ton of work.
That does sound like a lot of work. Yeah. Especially 400 baskets. That's a lot.
Do you think that 400 people are going to come and
No, I don't.
okay, all right.
I do not.
So how many do
What's
you usually?
Typical.
Yeah.
What's a typical number?
Typical number is between 250 and 300.
Still a ton.
Still a lot. Yeah.
Because I say that because there have been years, and I say it's the Cumberland Happy Baskets, but there's been years where I'll get a phone call from somebody, say in the military, and they'll say, "Listen, we've got a number of we got a woman who's suffering from cancer, and she doesn't have any funds for gifts for her kids or food, but she doesn't live in Cumberland. Can you help us out?"
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And then we'll get calls like that. And of course, we're going to help you out. I'm not going to say no.
Right.
Primarily, it's Cumberland residents. though,
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
most part.
That's the first question that I'll ask. We had a gentleman the other night show up at the sign up, and he waited about an hour and 15 minutes because there was so many people to get to me to sign up.
Wow.
And the first thing he did, I said, "I need to see your ID," and he showed it to me, and it said Central Falls, and I went, "This says Central Falls." He goes, "Yeah, that's where I used to live." I said, "So you live in Cumberland?" He goes, "No, I live in Pawtucket." So the first thing says, "Must be a Cumberland resident."
Wow.
I can see that. That's one in every bunch.
And he was really nice. I said, "Well, you're not going to sign up." He goes, "Oh, I thought, it's worth a try. You
Yeah.
got a free box of food.
Yeah, worth
It's
a shot.
try.
Why
Yeah,
not?
What the heck?
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything tonight."
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
So how many people you think do that?
In my program, in this program, none.
Okay.
I'm not saying that there's people there that really don't need it and they've worked the system pretty well over the years, but there's only so much I can do to check. I mean, I'll check their
Yeah.
finances, I'll check some other things, and then, what else can you do?
Yeah.
So those are quick turnarounds. You do Thanksgiving, then literally,
Yeah.
and you do food and toys for Christmas.
Yeah, I call Thanksgiving the primer for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
So where are you doing it this year? Like you've been in a number of different places. I know I've seen you around a number of different places as far as like storing the food, building the baskets, having people come.
This year we're at 160 Bay Hill Road. I don't know the name of the company.
Yeah, it's where the YMCA is. Probably.
Yeah, behind the
Behind
YMCA
that
Early
building.
Learning Center.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And it's another situation where the deans have found the spot for us. Otherwise, you need a spot that has room, but I also like to have it so that people are out of the way.
Yeah.
So you don't have the looky-loos driving by and say, "Oh, look, there's there's so and so," and they get in a basket, and some of the people are embarrassed to tears anyways getting it, and they don't need any of that other.
They don't want the attention.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
that
don't need
makes
that
sense.
other stuff. So
Brett-
This should flow pretty easy too because it's a nice horseshoe
Yeah.
driveway.
He was telling me before before we went live, he wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys.
Yeah, we
Even
hope
though
I
y'all
know.
won't, even though y'all will never put it out there. Look at all the stuff that we do.
this is let me tell you a story behind the Deans and myself. I've known Brad Dean's father, Brad Dean,
Yep.
since I was 5 years old.
The real Brad Dean.
Well, yes.
The original, the OG.
And anytime we've had a challenge with Happy Baskets, anytime One year, somebody dropped off 200 frozen turkeys the day after our Thanksgiving giveaway. Now, I have no place to store them. And people were running around going, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? We could put two here, two here. And I said, just hold on a second. I call up Brad Dean Sr., and I tell him the situation. He calls me back in less than 5 minutes, says, you're all set. I got a place for you. They're going to take them, they're going to wrap them, and then all you have to do is pick them up for the Christmas giveaway.
Wow.
Boom, problem solved. One year, there's been a couple of years where I've needed a truck to go pick up the food from the schools. Well, Brad, don't worry about it, John. Here's a truck. Not only am I giving you a truck, I'm going to give you a guy to help you carry the stuff.
Wow. Is that Keith? No, just
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
And another year, we needed more volunteers to hand out the food. Call up Brad, not a problem, John. We'll be down there with some other people too. And every time, so, you know, people in town, let's say town hall, that think that we're where we are because of the elections last year. That's not the case. I've had a lifelong friendship with the deans, and anytime I've asked for a favor, they've always said yes. So, matter of fact, it was Brad Dean Sr. who called me last year and said, I hear you're looking for a new location. Yeah, he goes, I got 3 you can check out. And then this year, Brad Dean called me up and said, we got another location for you. And without having those things happen over the last 2 years, Happy Baskets wouldn't be able to be around. It's just, that's a fact of life.
wow.
So yeah, tip of the hat to the deans for doing this. It's there is much a part of this as I am, really. Maybe more so.
I think it's incredible. How can people find you? Like, how do people help out? Like, where do they go to donate either food? Where do they do money? Whether they want to?
Is there a website or a Facebook page?
Yeah, do you
or,
have-
There's a Facebook page. There used to be a website. I don't know what happened to it.
We might be making another website.
yeah.
I can do that for you.
I would appreciate that.
I don't know if I want to say that on air. Now it's like, now it's almost like a
Now you're under
contract,
the
right?
gun,
Now
yeah.
I have to.
Well, there it is. Yeah. They can donate by sending checks to P.O. Box 7611 in Cumberland
Okay.
and making the checks out to Happy Baskets. Never make the checks out to me. Never,
Right,
never,
right.
ever. I don't ever want anybody to
No,
think that
get
there's
the wrong
anything
idea.
improper
Yep.
about this. They can donate food at the library, the senior center, and my understanding is that the Cumberland High School student government has boxes all over town and all
Yeah.
these businesses down at Angelo's Pizza.
There's a giant list. I saw the
There
list.
is. The list
So
is
what?
big.
So I think what I'll do for this episode, in the description of the video, I'm going to find your social media. I'll find the website, if there is still a website,
I know we're on Facebook, but
and all the links for or all the places, the locations where the people can donate.
yeah.
And I'll also put the PO box in there as well. When do you stop taking donations, or do you never really stop?
I
taking
never stop because this is how it works. We give away everything we have, so
Yeah.
we start fresh every year, and I don't allow any Happy Basket donations to be used for anything other than food, toys, or clothes. The boxes, the tape, the mailings, the postage, whatever. Everything else comes through me.
Oh.
So that I want the program to be 100%.
Food,
If you give
toys,
us
clothes.
$1, we're buying food with that dollar. I'm not buying lunch for the volunteers or donuts for the volunteers. That's on
Right.
me to do. So usually at the beginning of the year, we don't have enough money to pay for Thanksgiving.
Hmm.
So somebody has to front that cost.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe probably Dave would say, when you get the money, John, go ahead and pay us. But that's not right. That's
Right.
not how I want to treat a friend. And we don't give out turkeys. We give out gift cards.
Hmm.
And the gift cards are for $30 to buy a turkey or something else you might need. And you do the math on that $30 gift card. If it's 400 families,
Yeah.
500, 600, 800 families, multiply it by 30. that's a big chunk of money.
It is, yeah.
People don't realize that there's a,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
it's an expensive program.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
But it sounds worth it.
Especially nowadays, food being so expensive the way it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and I don't know that I can complete the list that we've used every year. I may have to back off a little bit because there's so many more people. And that's just the reality of what's going on.
Where do we send volunteers to help you?
Say, I found a website. I can't open the dang thing, but
Yeah, that's
Really?
that's the problem.
happybasketsri.com.
Yeah.
Sound right?
We'll find it after
It's like frozen.
okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get you set up.
Where can they go to volunteer?
Yeah.
Well, they can give me a call, and I can give you a number.
Do you want people to have your number? I mean, this goes all over the world.
Depends who's calling.
Oh, yes, this is Putin. No, I'm just kidding.
Or they can have the Happy Basket not website, but the email address is hbprogram@gmail.com.
hbprogram@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Get that, Brad. Get his all his contact information, because I don't
Yeah.
have your phone number, but get all his contact info,
Yep.
and then text it to me whenever you get done.
Yeah, I can do that.
The other thing is, if people want to volunteer, they can reach out to us here at the show, and we can put them in contact with you
Yeah.
too.
There's going to
That's
be
fine as well.
There's going to be times when we're putting the baskets of food together.
Mhm.
There's going to be people giving out the baskets. Then there's and sorting the food is big. Sorting and dating the donations, because unfortunately, as generous as people try to be, sometimes they're generous with what's in the back of their pantry.
Yeah.
And that's we have a little contest to see who can find the oldest
Oldest.
piece.
Oh my goodness.
I can see that.
Doesn't feel like the lady giving her last mites, does it?
And,
I can see that's like the last. Oh, you know what it is? You forget about it. All of a sudden, it's like, oh shoot, I got to bring cans today.
we had a gentleman one year. Actually, I worked with him, and he gave me one of those oatmeal round
yeah.
things.
Oh yeah, like the Quaker
Quaker
oats.
oats, yeah.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I said, this is open. I can't give this out. He goes, well, I had that for breakfast, and I thought I'd give it to Happy Baskets. And I
Oh
went,
my
I
goodness.
can't give this out. And he goes, he's old school, and he goes, if they're hungry, they'll eat it.
Oh my goodness.
If they won't eat this, they're not hungry. They don't deserve anything. I said,
Wow.
all right, thank you.
That's
kinda like-
okay,
that's kinda
we'll
like-
take the oats.
Yeah,
That's
thank
kind
you.
of like, you know how many starving kids are in Africa?
Yeah.
Well, if you want,
Yeah.
here it is. Put it in a box and
was-
send it to them.
Oh yeah, I mean I heard.
That's what mothers said all the
Who
time.
didn't hear that growing up? If you didn't eat all your food, yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't clean your plate off at dinner.
I still wasn't going to eat that baked potato. I'm sorry, Mom.
No, I know what's happening. Mine was meatloaf.
Meatloaf. I love meatloaf. Mine was carrots.
I like meatloaf now. Back then, I didn't
Anyway.
like meatloaf.
So we're gonna put all your contact info. You need money, you need food, and you need
Toys, and clothes.
toys and volunteers and clothes. That's what you need.
Yeah.
And we're going to make sure that all gets in the description, and then we'll share the video with you whenever we put it out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
There's another thing that you said that you wanted to talk about before we end this, and that's this book. So is this a kid's book? And it's pretty thick for a kid's book.
Yeah, I got
You have it written in like,
might have got away
Oh, wow.
from me a little bit. It's the new book in the 3-part Watson.
can I see it real quick?
Sure.
I've been hold up in the
Yeah, put that in front of the camera if you don't mind. It's on the main camera, yeah.
center screen.
Yeah. Where do people get this book?
Well, right now you can get it at certainly at Amazon. They can get it on my Facebook page,
Okay.
and on my Facebook page, I'm running a special where it's a reduced price, and I will mail it to the person and sign it to whoever they want. And all the profits from this book are being donated to Hasbro Children's Hospital. And the publisher and I, which is JEB Wizard Publishing,
Yeah.
have got together and decided that we're going to donate a book to every child at Hasbro Children's
Oh, wow.
Hospital.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So it's and hopefully, and it's dedicated to Layla from Layla's Dream,
Yeah.
and
We just
that's
had her father on
Yeah, he was on
a couple,
about a month
a
ago.
week ago or so.
Yeah.
so
a couple
all
weeks
that
ago.
is going to them, and the main character in this book is Layla.
No kidding.
Oh,
Yeah.
good stuff.
So it's a Christmas book?
It's a book about Christmas characters.
Gotcha.
It doesn't.
Tell us the
lead-
genesis of it.
Okay, there's there's a raging snowstorm at the North Pole, and a mysterious creature shows up. And now, is this creature? It doesn't look like the regular reindeer. So the elves are saying, is it a reindeer? Is it a crane deer, half creature, half reindeer? Is it an angel? What is this? And then we go through the book to kind of determine exactly who she is and what happens. And
Gotcha.
when she's around, good things seem to happen.
Oh.
So,
But-
and in no part of the first book, Watson and the Terrific 10, or this book, do I have a mean character, somebody who's
Like the antagonist,
I don't have that. I just say,
just the protagonist.
yeah. Some of the publishers were saying, you got to have that. I went, why?
Like
I
the
don't-
weather. The weather is the antagonist.
Yeah. So
Yeah, right.
there's nothing but if
Happy.
something good happens to you, Rat's happy for you. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like that. So
But so that's the gist of the story. So you actually have two books.
yes,
So and they're both in the Watson.
yes,
So people can get them at the same places.
right.
All right. So, but you were telling me the genesis of the character Watson. Somebody said that was their favorite.
When I had moved back to Cumberland, I was living in Greenville for a while, and when my parents passed away, I bought the house.
Uh-huh.
And it was around Christmas time, and I went down the street, and there's a little girl, she's 5 years old, named Georgia. And I want to make friends with the kids, too, because I don't want to get egged at Halloween.
He's like
Yeah, right,
a modern day Mr. Rogers.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
So,
That's a good analogy.
I was sitting talking to her, and instead of asking her, what do you want for Christmas? I said, who's your favorite reindeer? And she said, Watson. She started to giggle, and I looked at her, I said, wait a minute. And she goes, I said, where'd that come from? And she said, well, when I was young, now she's 5 years old. She said, Santa asked me the same question. And I said, Watson. And I went, oh, there's a book here. There's a story here. So I sat down to write it, and it changed. Originally, it was just going to be, like a 15-page little short story for her.
Yeah, right.
And then as I started to write it, at night I have what I call Tink is my idea fairy. When I get stuck on something, Tink whispers in my ears, and every night she's telling me, you got to do this, you got to do that. So that sounds a little crazy, but
A little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's pretty good.
maybe a lot.
I'm just
That
kidding.
was pretty good.
And so the story got longer, and I sent it to a friend of mine who's published, he's an author of 12 books. And I said, what do you think? He goes, I like it. And then I was showcasing it, and the big time publishers, say in New York or whatever, they said, we love the story, but you've got to go, it's not inclusive enough. You don't have, the characters are all white. I go, no, the characters are elves.
They're elves.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
They're
not a-
elves. They're elves. They don't have any, any sexual preference, any nationality other than they're elves.
Yeah, they're elves.
And same thing with the reindeer. And they said, well, if you could change it to be what we're looking for, then we might be interested. And I went, that doesn't make any sense.
Who needs them anyway?
Yeah. I found the best fit for these books in JEB Wizard Publishing. I mean,
Yeah.
just
And you're going to be going through Hasbro Children's Hospital. I mean, that's who in
Oh,
Rhode Island specifically doesn't know
No doubt.
Hasbro,
Yeah.
Children's Hospital.
and
Anyway.
I'm hoping that the
They're feel good books.
Yes.
yeah
What's wrong with that?
yeah, and that's what I'm hoping, that the kids and the parents and the families read these books and go, that's I like this. This is good. This is, there's no, I mean, I'm not to say that within the book, when I'm talking to some of the readers, they've cried at certain points. And I go, okay. And other people have found things in there. They'll say, oh, I caught the message in chapter 4. And I go, what was that? Oh, shit.
I'm
And
thinking, what message is that?
Everybody. There's no message. What are you talking about?
I must have missed that one.
You reading my book or something?
This is Tinker's. There's Tinker's
Yeah,
just telling
that's
me.
Tinker's
No, just
message. Yeah,
kidding.
exactly. Oh, that's
Awesome,
funny.
man. That's
That's
funny.
good stuff.
That is good. So I'll put that that stuff in the description too, where people can pick the book up.
Okay, thank you.
And
There may be a couple links in there too.
yeah, there'll be a number of. That's what I'm talking about. Some links for where to get it.
They can get it pretty much at any bookstore, but they've
Yeah.
got to order it special.
Sure.
Now, if something happens and it starts to be really popular, that'll
They'll stock
change.
it.
Yeah, that'll change. And
Well,
Who knows?
you're talking about it on Cumberland Unfiltered. It's going to get popular.
good. I'd like to see that.
I like it.
I mean, I don't get a penny out of this particular book, and I'm really happy with that. The publisher had said, so what if this book really takes off and really sells? Is that going to bother you? I said, are you kidding me? I'd be thrilled to be able to hand that type of money to Hasbro. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to
No
give,
doubt.
you got to give back.
Got to give back. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
John's making me feel like a real Scrooge. Like he's doing all this stuff. I'm like over here. Give me that. Give me this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's pretty good.
so we'll put all those links in, John. Anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to talk about?
I just want to say thank you for inviting me on. This is a great opportunity
Of course.
to talk about Happy Baskets, to talk about the new Watson book, and
We're glad you came.
We appreciate what you're doing, especially in the town.
and the wonderful people in town. It's and I tried to do the math on it, and I thought, okay, so even at 250 families for Thanksgiving, it averages out to 4 people in a family. So that's 1,000 people at Thanksgiving, 1,000 people at Christmas, and then I like to say that the other side of that is the volunteers and the people who give, and they are as important as the people getting the food. And when you figure out all the school kids and the
Yeah.
businesses and so on, it's at least another 1,000 people that are affected by this. And it really has nothing to do with me. It's just the town and the people have opened their hearts to this program for years, and they give without question, and they give generously.
Yeah.
And that's why it works.
Yeah, I love seeing high school kids getting involved too.
Yeah.
The youth. I mean, like you said, they're the next step in this link, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be some Utes out
Yes.
there that want to take over for the graybeards.
Hey, yep, no doubt about it. Got to keep it going.
Yeah.
All
Especially
right.
after
But
34
thank you very
years.
much for this
We
opportunity.
appreciate you coming on
No, I
and talking
appreciate
about
coming
it.
on. Yeah.
So go get his book, pick his book up. Tell me the name again.
Watson and the Night Angel.
Watson and the Night Angel. Pick the book up. Also, the links and the information will be in the description for Happy Baskets, food, clothes, money, toys. And that's it. It's been another community update. Cumberland
Yes.
Unfiltered.
Appreciate it.
That's a wrap.